Poland's president says the country's armed forces are on the highest alert, while Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia warn the crisis could escalate into a military confrontation. Ukraine is also reinforcing its borders. It comes as the Belarus president threatened to cut off gas supplies to Europe after the EU decided to impose new sanctions.
In the no-man's land between Poland and Belarus, children are brought to the razor wire and coaxed into shouting a few words in English. The messaging may be confused, but Poland says its purpose is clear: to pull at the heartstrings of Europe. On another part of the border, a Polish guard sums up his government's response. Europe's leaders say Alexander Lukashenko is trying to provoke a crisis. If that was the aim, the man dubbed Europe's last dictator has succeeded, drawing in an increasing number of players. Poland says it's ready to respond.
There is a huge probability of provocations already. Belarusian soldiers were shooting into the air, loading their guns, throwing out artificial bombs. So we do also have to introduce the state of emergency on a very narrow piece of land.
To the north, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia have gone on high alert. Their defence ministers issued a joint statement warning of the risk of escalation. While to the south, Ukraine is also reinforcing its borders. There's increasing tension there too. Russia says it scrambled a fighter to intercept a British spy plane near Crimea, the Black Sea Peninsula annexed by Russia. Back in Minsk, Mr. Lukashenko alleged that attempts were being made to send weapons from eastern Ukraine to the migrants. And he threatened to cut off gas supplies to Europe. In New York, the UN Security Council held an emergency closed-door meeting.
It demonstrates how the Lukashenko regime has become a threat to regional stability.
Russia sent bombers over Belarus for the second day running. Its UN envoy said the flights were routine and blamed the crisis on European leaders.
There is a game of shifting blame now by European Union. They want to picture Belarus and sometimes even Russia as perpetrators of this crisis.
While the diplomats argue, the situation at the border is worsening. High-tech heat maps used to monitor the migrants from the air, trapped on a narrow strip of land and going nowhere.